In our previous video, we pointed out how Toto is so salty and bitter about the possibility of Sir Lewis winning an 8th title at Ferrari, that he is leading an outrageous campaign to smear him. We cautioned then that this smear campaign could be a precursor to something darker, and unfortunately, we have now discovered a darker and more sinister motivation. We have discovered that the smear campaign is the precursor to sacking Sir Lewis, and then instituting a lawsuit against Ferrari for wrongfully interfering in their relationship with him. The lawsuit will then provide the basis for a court injunction to stop Sir Lewis from fulfilling his Ferrari contract until the case is settled. Yes folks, that is what Toto and Mercedes are up to. But before setting out Toto's plan to interfere with SLH's move to Ferrari, we invite those of you who haven't yet done so, to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification icon, to be notified when the next video is uploaded. It is no longer news that Toto and Mercedes are trying to frustrate Sir Lewis, and are sabotaging his car as well. Apart from the mystery of his car repeatedly losing power going into Q3, as happened again last weekend, Toto and the team also did not mark any of the milestones that SLH reached at the Canada GP, as shown by the team's website that we have provided as a backdrop to this video. The latest manifestation of Toto and Mercedes' mindset towards SLH, which has been obvious since he announced his move to Ferrari, is their failure to acknowledge any of the milestones that he reached at the Canadian GP last weekend. For example, they did not, amongst many landmarks, celebrate the 17th year anniversary of the first of his 103 F1 wins, which came at the 2007 Canadian GP, after just 6 races in his debut season. They also did not mark the fact that he broke the record for the longest F1 career for a British driver. It says it all, when known SLH haters like Jenson Button, ESPN, and the FIA, are commemorating achievements that Toto and Mercedes have ignored completely. Of course, it is understandable that Mercedes would want to celebrate George's first pole, but why was there no room to mark SLH's 17-year anniversary? Is this why Mercedes deliberately tinkered with Sir Lewis's qualifying? We have produced several videos showing that the Mercedes team principal and owner is so obsessed with denying Sir Lewis the opportunity to surpass the 7 titles he shares with Toto's idol, Michael Schumacher, that he conspired with the similar-minded cabal to withdraw the Mercedes appeal to the 2021 theft in Abu Dhabi. We have also made videos showing that Toto had taken SLH's loyalty so much for granted that he had assumed he could usher him out of F1 with a disrespectful contract and an underperforming car, which one of our valued subscribers referred to as a tractor. However, SLH's unexpected move to Ferrari has got Toto flapping, because not only is his plan to protect Schumacher's 7 titles now a stinking mess, all the purity of the glory that Sir Lewis and Mercedes achieved together will be gone with one strike by the prancing stallion. Toto Wolff and Mercedes are so disturbed by how their legacy and that of Michael Schumacher has been ambushed by Ferrari, that they are prepared to go to any length to prevent or interfere with SLH's move to Maranello. In addition to creating a hostile work environment for him, which is tantamount to a constructive dismissal, Toto is looking to provoke some sort of reaction from SLH, which can then be used as grounds for his suspension or outright dismissal. Mercedes would then claim that the Ferrari contract caused SLH to start misbehaving and issue a lawsuit against Ferrari for tortious interference, claiming that they wrongfully interfered in the relationship between Mercedes and Sir Lewis. It does not matter that the lawsuit is doomed to fail, all that matters is that it provides Mercedes an opportunity to get a court injunction, to interfere with, and delay SLH's move to Ferrari, for as long as they can keep the suit going. All the flapping that Toto has been doing since the announcement cannot amount to anything otherwise. It has already been established by us, and millions of other people on social media, that despite his superficial comments to the contrary, Toto is salty about Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari. Since the announcement, he has been steadily attacking SLH, while making bogus claims to the contrary, and critically, he has expressed his frustration at the fact that SLH has risen above all the drama that he and Mercedes have been creating for him. In our last video, we showed how Toto was leading the campaign to smear SLH, by claiming that it was his demotivation, and not the car, that was responsible for his poor performance. As absurd and disrespectful as this claim was, the hidden intention is to use it to support the theory that it was not the car, or the hostile work environment, but SLH being demoralized as a result of being roundly thrashed by his teammate, and the pressure of living up to the expectations at Ferrari, that caused him to misbehave towards Toto. In that previous video, we went into detail about the origins and absurdity of the retirement theory from the German YouTube video from Formel, and the UK Planet F1 article underpinning it, so we recommend those who haven't watched it yet, to do so to appreciate the full context. We have contended that the headlines from these two discredited sources were not just random attempts to generate clickbait, but the preliminary steps in ratcheting up the effort to produce some retaliatory outburst from SLH. The reference to retirement is a big red distraction flag, designed to draw attention away from the equally ridiculous, but less outrageous claim that SLH is demotivated because of George's thrashing, and allow it to survive under the radar, until it is resurrected during the impending lawsuit, where Mercedes will attempt to argue that the misconduct which prompted SLH's sacking was down to his demotivation from being trounced by George, and not the hostile antics of Toto and the team. It should be noted that it really doesn't matter how absurd the headline is, it will feed many other headlines from many other articles, and thereby allow the notion to permeate through the internet, and a falsehood repeated often enough starts to get the appearance of credibility. What matters is that it is being pushed by someone who clearly does not want SLH to fulfill his Ferrari contract, and the likeliest suspect is Mercedes-AMG F1, for a variety of reasons that we have outlined in several videos in multiple playlists. We have conclusively linked Toto and Mercedes directly to the plot, because the concept of using a baseless feeder article to fuel disinformation is the specialty of those who Toto granted a related interview that was published just one day before the retirement theory emerged. Utilizing the same feeder concept, Toto granted that related interview to an unnamed journalist with the PA News Agency, 1 week after SLH gave a post-qualifying interview in Monaco, questioning why his car continuously loses performance going into Q3. For the record, PA News Agency is the UK's leading provider of multimedia content and services, which is owned by Lewis Hamilton's biggest detractors, and well-known purveyors of fake news, the Daily Mail and Rupert Murdoch's News UK. This interview, which was produced as the feeder content for other platforms to build their stories around, proves definitively that Toto connived with SLH's biggest detractors, to smear him, and provoke a direct response to boot. Should SLH take the bait, then Toto and Mercedes can attempt to argue that his misconduct, which was in breach of his Mercedes contract, had been motivated by the Ferrari contract. Mercedes can then institute a civil lawsuit that prevents SLH from taking up his place at Ferrari, until the case is concluded. In the PA interview, which was published just one day before the Planet F1 article and Formel video, Toto attempted to smear SLH, by shamelessly putting forward his version of private conversations between the two, to support his claim that he had been surprised by what he allowed to come across as SLH's betrayal. Toto claimed that he was surprised about SLH's move to Ferrari because he couldn't imagine Lewis wearing red, given that Lewis had told him so. It is instructive that the interviewer did not push back against what they should have known were Toto's obviously untrue statements, because it is a matter of public record that Toto had repeatedly claimed, even before 2021, and again after the poor performance of the Mercedes car, post-2021, that he would understand if Lewis went to Ferrari. Furthermore, Toto had also publicly claimed that he was not surprised by the move. Tellingly, the interviewer also did not make any attempt to corroborate Toto's version of events with SLH. This contrived and unverified one-sided interview was then provided as the foundation for others to write their articles around, and give the impression that Toto's representations were accurate. But critically, the ultimate goal of the smear was to provoke SLH into confronting Toto, should he wish to rebut the lies, and that confrontation would then be the excuse for sacking him. Now, this is a particularly dastardly trap, given that Toto was using the intimate knowledge that he had gained from some 11 years of supporting SLH through relentless scurrilous attacks, from the very same people that Toto is now working with to launch yet another scurrilous attack. What a low-down dirty Toto Wolff is. To use the knowledge that you gained from a close personal relationship, to try and destroy the man who gave you your glory years, and every opportunity to do right by him. You declined, because as the sociopath that you are, you thought you could ruthlessly exploit his loyalty, for your own wicked benefit, while denying him an 8th title to boot, and when his spirit guided him to go elsewhere, as was his right, you are losing your mind because you think he outsmarted you, when the truth of the matter is that his spirit guided him safely through your traps. Whom God has blessed, no man can curse, and no weapons fashioned against him can prosper. Toto may think he has us all fooled, but as you can see, we have been able to track his digital footprints to expose his treachery. 1 minute he is claiming that he would understand, the next minute he's claiming that he doesn't. 1 minute he is claiming he wouldn't be surprised, the next minute he is claiming to be surprised. 1 minute he is claiming that all is well between them, the next minute he is damning him with faint praise, etc., etc., etc. It is now self-evident that Toto is so focused on provoking a reaction from SLH, he doesn't care about how he is coming across to the public. But we all know that SLH's motto is still I rise, and we are confident that he will continue to rise above the stench of Mercedes's bitter Toto. We are also confident that Ferrari are more than a match for Toto and Mercedes. And now, as we have been doing since 2021, we have exposed Mercedes's Toto yet again.